Hey, Squirrel Bait. It is hot today. I mean, blistering hot. Something like 107 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just got done mowing the yard, and I was sitting there thinking about it while I was mowing. But there was a year, it was about 11 years ago, I guess, where it was even hotter than this. We went like 30, maybe 45 days even, where the temperature never dropped below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And your grandma and grandpa, my parents, were raising rabbits. And the heat was so bad that they started losing rabbits to heat stroke in the hutches. And I mean, I went down there to visit with them, and you'd lay there at night and you'd hear a rabbit just scream. And I don't know if you've ever heard a rabbit scream or not, but it's pretty haunting. Real shrill, just wee. But you'd hear them rabbits scream and then just silence. And you'd run out there and there'd be another rabbit down. And that carried on. We tried everything we could. We picked up every hutch and we moved them all into the shade. We created, we put shelter over the top of them. We even got so desperate that we started packing them in ice. I mean, live rabbits. We was packing these things in ice trying to cool them off, and they just sit there and pant and collapse. And you'd hold these rabbits, trying, because you're in charge of their welfare, this little creature, and so you're just bashing your head against the wall, trying everything you can to save these rabbits, just to watch them die. And they were just cooking alive. It was just too hot. And one by one, we listened to them screams and that silence until there wasn't any rabbits left. And I think to this day, they don't want to do rabbits anymore. Like that bothered them a lot. It bothered me a lot. Like I said, today, this has been 11 years ago when I was mowing the yard thinking about it. And it's just one of those things. Sometimes life will throw something at you and you are completely helpless to it. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, sometimes life just puts something in your way and you just have to sit there helpless and work through it. I mean, we couldn't save those rabbits, but we struggled against it. Like you have to fight for everything you're worth. Like, even if it's a losing battle, you gotta fight, because there's always that hope. But sometimes it don't work out. Life's very rarely fair, and it's definitely indifferent. So you can't let situations like that, can't get hung up on them. You can't let them eat at you, because you'll give yourself ulcers worrying about things that you can't control. It'll turn into a cancer, just eat you up. You can't do it. So you just have to accept that this is what happened, and you just have to move on. All the frustration in the world ain't gonna bring those rabbits back. So I hope that as you grow up and you mature and you find yourself, you know, learning things about the world, that when you're faced with a situation like that, that I hope you struggle against it. I hope that you do your best to overcome, and I hope you succeed. But I also hope that if you fail, that you can accept and just assess and move on. Move forward, and keep climbing that hill, because that's really what life is about. Life isn't a privilege. Life isn't a privilege to just sit back and expand. Life is a struggle. Every creature on this planet is struggling for life. From the birds picking the seeds and the worms out of the dirt, to me and you going to work every day, dealing with this heat. You know, when you get so hot and miserable that a glass of iced tea just feels like a godsend. But you can't get hung up on everything. You can't. You just have to face it, and the things that are out of your control are just out of your control. But I hope that you put every bit of effort that you got into everything that you do. And I hope that if I talk enough, that maybe some wisdom will spill out. It won't be on purpose, I promise. But I love you, Squirrel Bait, and I want the world for you. I want the best for you, and I want you to succeed in everything that you do. And I hope that maybe someday these videos will give you something, at least to laugh at. I don't know. But you stay cool out there, Squirrel Bait. And I love you. Be safe.